Yeah, now stand and cheer for your Basketball Weekly.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Talking Basketball with Basketball Weekly.
I am Paul. I say weekly.
Well, we say weekly, but yeah, it's, we had a couple of weeks off because there hasn't really been anything going on, has there?
And we got a freaking queue of guests.
A queue of guests, and
a backload, isn't it?
obviously all the leagues have finished and everyone's sitting there thinking, well, what's happening in basketball? So we thought, why not do something now? Because some interesting basketball is coming up very soon.
We got the Olympics, Mark.
Olympics.
The Olympics is coming up.
Do you like the Olympics? Do you actually watch the Olympics?
Look, I watched the proper sports in the Olympics. That's how I'd phrase that.
Beach volleyball.
Great sport.
Badminton.
Right. We've been playing with some new sounds. Do you need me to get the sounds out?
You can do it if you want.
Go on.
So badminton.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
So no badminton. No.
No, it's not a real sport.
But like the athletics is always good to watch, isn't it?
That's good.
Swimming. I actually really like the swimming because
swimming's good.
It's kind of like you see someone do the turn and then they suddenly on the second leg they're coming back and you think, ooh.
And
I've never historically watched lots of the basketball in the Olympics, if I'm honest. I've seen a few bits here and there, but half the time it's like it's very difficult to know where you, and obviously where it's on.
Well, Mark, that's what this show's all about.
The last one was Rio. Before that was Tokyo.
Got my notes.
Oh no! Look at this.
Yeah. 10 pages.
Oh,
this is like a lecture. This is 10 pages. No, look. Basketball. The Summer Olympics has been a sport for men consistently since 1936. So it was. This is weird. It was part of the Olympics before 1936,
right.
But it was basketball was held as, and I'm quoting here, unofficial demonstration events from 1904 to 1924.
Okay.
Women's basketball made its debut in the Summer Olympics in 1976.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Mark, I've got so many pictures. Where do you want me to start?
I mean,
start a bit of the history. Start a bit of what's coming up.
Yeah, go for it. You crack on.
Yeah, which bit?
I think we need history first, don't we?
Well, okay. I've got lots of pictures, and I've taken you ask so many questions that when I'm doing my research for a 20-minute podcast, I have to have 10 pages of stuff for whatever you may or may not ask.
Do you know what the new sports are in the Olympics this year?
Skateboarding. Is that one?
No.
Surfing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like modern sports.
Yeah, I think surfing was in the last one, but it's back again. One of the new sports this year, they've got like kayak cross, kiteboarding, cool.
Tiddlywinks.
Men's artistic swimming.
What?
Yep. Break dancing.
Not sure about that.
So that I genuinely, it's like I like breakdancing. I like, I can appreciate it, but it's not
conjecture, isn't it? Like the judges
yeah, because there's too much. One person might think that's amazing, and that how do you?
I guess it's same thing
technical
with ice
ability
skating and stuff, isn't it?
I guess so, but then I guess there's the interpretation of the routine. They must have to score it that way. But I just looked at it and thought,
the gymnastics would be the same, isn't it?
Yeah, but in those, they have certain moves they have to pull off. So I guess they must have a thing like that. But I just saw that. I was looking down them and they've got, they've done things like skateboarding last time and then surfing. They've had BMX in for a while now. But breakdancing, I thought, oh, okay. Didn't expect that. And I had no idea what men's artistic swimming was as well, because that totally confused me.
Yeah. I probably won't watch that one if I'm honest.
No?
I think the pinnacle is the 100-meter sprint.
Is it?
The relay.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one,
I think the sprint followed by you've got the 200, 100, 200.
The hurdles,
400 hurdles. 400 hurdles and the...
they're like got to be
sprint.
the most watched ones, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I used to love the things as well, like the javelin, high jump, triple jump. I used to love those ones as well. But that's why I did triple jump. So I like that. I used to like watching those because they're always going on, and you see these people run. Can you imagine being one of those people who they're throwing the javelin, and round the course you've usually got like the 10,000 meter jogging at the same time. You know, someone's in the background jogging, and you've got this flipping javelin. You're running towards it like, I want to break the world record, but if I do, it might land on them.
Break the world record.
break the world record.
Pain
Skewer someone in
sucks.
the leg.
Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a few famous ones where someone is running around the track, and I think someone's done the high jump. No, not the high jump, the
Pole vault.
pole vault,
Yeah.
and then something's caught on a runner's leg, and he's lost because of that.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Don't do that.
So at school I was put in a high jump
Yep.
because they were like, "Oh, you're a basketball player. We'll put you in a high jump." I don't think I got past the first jump.
The flesh was willing, but the spirit was weak.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to basketball. So, I got some really, really interesting stats for you here. So, when I'm talking from 1936, when it was a medal sport in the Olympics.
Yep.
Great year to talk about. Obviously, Americans are dominating the sport, but where was it? 1936, Nazi Germany.
Okay.
That was the first time basket was played as a medal sport, and the Americans won against Canada.
Okay.
And the Nazis didn't even get in top 4, mate. So
But they weren't happy about
winner all round.
that. Is that what started the war?
What, the Americans won?
They were that disappointed.
Hitler was going, "Durch das Spins."
We're doing this again, are we?
Oh dear.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that would anger you because the next games was the one that was quite controversial, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Was it in the 40s? Didn't they have one?
No. Right, so I just wanted to highlight that because I thought that was a great thing. Nazi Germany, that's when the first one was. Like, it says got history all over it.
Not going to forget
That's
it.
the
am I?
classic one, Jesse Owens, who
Yes.
he won the 100-meter sprint, he won the hurdles, and the long jump. He might have done something else, but he had a couple of gold medals, so he did all right. So anyway, out of the 19 tournaments that there have been since then, obviously they didn't do it throughout the war. I think it was, hang on, I wrote this down because I knew you might bring it up. 36, the next Olympics was in 1948 in London.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a 12-year period where there was no Olympics. So 19 out of the tournaments, America have won it, 16 out of those 19.
Wow.
And this is a really great stat. So from 1936 to 1968, where they won 7 consecutive titles. Bugger. It was something like 63 games undefeated.
Oh, blimey.
It was 64 games. It was like 63-0. Or something like that. And that's where you get to the one I think you were referring to, the famous one, which was 1972. Let me just get this out because I've got 5 of these pages are on that game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, it was in Munich in Germany, and that's where USSR, Soviet Union, beat America in arguably the most controversial basketball game of all time. Definitely at the Olympics, but it's up there for basketball games as well.
Well, I mean, you mentioned it, and the only one that I said is that the one with the long pass, and that was the only one that I vaguely know bits about it. But
again, like I said to you off the air, we need to do a show just on that game.
yeah, we will.
It would be amazing if we can get one of those players.
Yeah.
Like I think only 1 or 2 went pro. I could be wrong on that. But the famous guy,
Literally 50 years ago.
is, damn it, what's his name? What is
See,
his
this
name?
is what happens, folks. He gets all the pages. He's got all his notes ready. It all looks
Yeah, but
handy.
I'm going through 10 pages of notes to try to find one name.
This is unacceptable behavior.
Who went to the line? Chicago Bulls coach with Jordan.
What do you mean Chicago Bulls coach with Jordan? That's Phil, isn't it?
Collins. Phil Collins. Is it Collins? Not Phil Collins. Collins. St. Collins, isn't it?
Oh, his first one, you mean?
Yeah. I think it was his second. I don't know. Yeah, him. Collins. What's his first name? Go on. Search that, Mark.
I'll have a look. See if I can find
Doug
it.
Collins. That's it. Doug Collins.
Okay.
So I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I talking
Going
about?
to the line. Famous game.
Yeah, Doug Collins. So he's the one. He's the one who was a big part of that thing at the end. But I think he's the one who became most famous after it, obviously playing in the NBA and then coaching the Chicago Bulls and other teams. But it is messed up. If you can watch the last minute, it is messed up. And there are so many infractions. It's almost like local league referees were refereeing that game. And I don't mean that to be derogatory to local league referees. But it was like, do you know where you have those games, local league, and it's like, what the hell? There was 1 second on the clock and someone managed to bring the ball up, have a shot, get a rebound, pass it out, miss another shot, pass it back out to hit a three to win the game. And it's like, what is that all about? It's pretty much that. There are 3 inbounds. There were probably 2 infractions, technical fouls they could have called on Russia. The guy who did that pass that you just said, the long pass, potentially stepped over the line for that pass, so it shouldn't have counted. And on the second attempt, America had won the game and they'd been celebrating for 10 minutes that they'd got a gold. So imagine as a 21-year-old, you've got a gold medal and then someone's asked you to go back on the court. The guy who's putting pressure on the inbounder for that famous pass, the referee tells him to go back. Says you can't go close. There was no rule, I don't think, in those days. But you clearly see the referee telling him to go back, so he goes back.
Yeah.
So the guy gets that really good pass opportunity. Russia just happens to catch the ball, lays it up, boom, champions. It's and you know what? It was fascinating for me that America have never ever collected their silver medals out of protest. Yeah. Mark, it is a show in itself.
Yeah, we'll do a show on that.
Let's do a show
That's
on the
so
1972 Olympics basketball final.
Wow.
So yeah, Soviets won that one. There was another one in 1980 where Yugoslavia won. And in 1988, the Soviet Union once again won, which prompted the Dream Team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And since then...
And what's interesting about that is all these dates you're talking about, all of this, the Berlin Wall was up, the Iron Curtain, as they used to call it. And that famously came down 89. And when, obviously, the Berlin Wall came down, 89, 88, USSR won. 89, there was no USSR. It went, disappeared. Then became Russia, or Soviet Union at the time. And as you say, then the rest is history.
Well, look, I've got to mention it. Argentina won in 2004. Other than that, America win it all the time. I would say...
That was quite a funny one when they won, the Argentinians.
So here you go. This is the medal. So America have never not got a medal from this event. Okay. 16 golds, 1 silver, 2 bronzes. And Canada. Just want to say Canada. Oh, they got a silver medal. Anyway, so there's their medal tally. This is really interesting. Since 1936, basically the most dominant team is from FIBA Americas. Yeah?
Okay, yep.
The second most dominant team is always from FIBA Europe.
Okay.
And I thought that was really valid because it's basically saying a team from Europe's always getting second place. And we're talking about Europe being one of the hardest groups to qualify, which is building into where we're going.
Yep, definitely.
And my last stat, Mark, But the history is Great Britain. 1948, we came 20th. I'm assuming that's last
Okay.
in the basketball. And in 2012, we came 9th. Oh, what? It was 2012 when we had London. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the only time we've actually qualified is when we're hosting it.
Yep.
That's a bit embarrassing.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
So, look, I know you're going to ask me about the women's as well. Women's dominated the sport pretty much as well since they came in. Out of 11 total medals they could have got, they've got 9 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. So, there you go, Mark. That's the history of the Olympics.
Well, I mean, that's very exciting. Thank you for sharing that.
Right, let's go into... should we do a little jingle?
Do a little jingle.
That was loud, wasn't it?
So, I got a fact about the Olympics
Oh, yeah.
because
Do you know I said tiddlewinks earlier? That used to be an Olympic sport.
tiddlywinks.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Wow. I didn't know that. So, as well as the basketball being, men's and women's basketball, they also have the 3-on-3 basketball now as part of the Olympics.
Since 2017.
Yep.
The executive board of the International Olympic Committee announced 3v3 would become an official Olympic sport as of 2020 in Tokyo, Japan. Look, I knew you were going to bring that up. That's why I put a note on it.
Yeah. So this is the second time round that it's been in there because things like surfing and 3-on-3 and stuff, they had a lot of cool events that they brought in last time. But the Tokyo Olympics, I think it's fair to say, that was delayed, obviously, because of the way of the world in 2020. So that happened in 2021. And a lot of people got, that sounds really stupid, confused by, the Olympics on now, but it's not the right year for it. So it really threw everyone. So I just don't think Tokyo had the coverage it maybe deserved, which was a shame.
Who won it?
No idea. Couldn't tell you. You've got it written down, sure.
I haven't. I just thought that as you asked.
But if you're talking about the basketball, I literally have no clue. But what I was looking at, which I thought was interesting, so just looking at the qualified teams, just to get it out of the way, in the men's competition, France naturally qualified because it's been held in Paris. South Sudan, Canada, USA, Japan, Germany, Serbia, Australia, Spain, Brazil, Greece, and Puerto Rico. Now, all of the ones who qualified in one setting have essentially qualified in the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and that's how they did their qualifications. And then the others did an Olympic qualifying, and that was this year. So that was Spain, Brazil, Greece, and Puerto Rico. They're the ones who got the qualifications in there.
Latvia were the champions from the 3v3. They won the very first title.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's nice, isn't it, to win the first? We won the first one. Yeah, kind of like that. So what I wanted to show you is, so those are all the teams, and go on the Olympic website because it actually is really good because it actually shows you as of like the 27th.
Oh,
This is when it's all starting.
Oh, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks all right. And it actually, and then what you can do is you can click this little medal up here and it tells you when the ceremonies are going to be. So the finals are going to be on the 10th of August for the men's.
That'll be right.
And the 11th of August.
After the game, won't it?
Yeah. So it's actually quite a good website and it does tell you that. What it doesn't do is it doesn't show you a bracket, which I thought was a bit annoying. So you don't know where the groups are sort of
It won't.
split.
It can't do.
No.
Can't do. And that's why I wrote down. Do you know the format? Do you want me to go through it?
They've got like pots, haven't they?
Kind of, yeah. So you got 3 groups, 4 teams in each group.
Yep.
Why does yours look weird?
Yeah, because that was a seeded one.
Okay, so there are...
Group A, Group B, Group C.
You've thrown me with that now.
No. Australia, Greece, Canada, Spain, Group 1.
Yeah, so 3 groups with 4 teams in each group.
Yeah.
The top 2 teams in each group
Yep.
go through.
Yep.
The best third place,
Yep.
2 of the next third place,
Yep.
then also go through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your 8.
And that's your quarterfinals.
6 get eliminated.
Yep.
So the group stage, at the end of it, the best 2/3 go to the knockout stage and
Yep.
a third gets binned out. They then do a draw to see who will play who in the quarterfinal.
Yes.
The top seed and the second seed. Now, 2 seconds. Sorry. The top seed and second seed. Did that come through your mic?
It came through my mic, which is almost funnier. by the fact that you muted yourself. And
I had to cough. The top seed and the second seed get put in 2 different pots, so they will meet in the final.
Multi-seeding.
Yes. So my only question was, I mean, either way, it's going to be America and Germany, I believe.
At the moment, yeah.
But who is the number 1 seed? The current world champions are the top team in the world.
Yeah.
It is Germany, right?
Yeah. USA, Spain, and Germany are considered seeded in the top spot. Serbia, Australia, Brazil, second. Canada, France, Puerto Rico, third. And Greece, Japan, and South Sudan in the fourth. In terms of the seeding, that's what I was showing you there.
Yeah.
So that's how they're looking at it, is like the USA, Germany, and Spain are, and you know, let's be fair, Spain is almost always up there because they just
good team.
They've always had good teams.
So the tournament is split into 2 phases. The group phase, Saturday 27th of July, this Saturday, and that goes to next Sunday, August the 4th. The knockout rounds will then follow from Tuesday, August the 6th to Sunday, August the 11th. So the basketball is kind of over in the first 2 weeks of the Olympics. Much of the tournament is going to be played in the Pierre Melou Stadium, located in Lille. You like my accent?
Apologise to everyone who is French listening now.
Je parle un peu de français. Petit François. Actually, not François, Française.
It's good.
But
good that you
it's like
butchered.
Lille's like 2 hours away. How would you say Lille then?
Lille.
Lille. When you speak French, you put on an accent. Oui, oui. So yeah, it's two hours away from Paris.
Yep.
And I think the knockout rounds, that's when it moves to Paris.
I mean, see, that's what I thought was interesting, that they're having everything out around the sides and then it goes to Paris. Because when you look at Paris, it's quite a dense city. And you think, how are they going to do all of this in that one place? But it does make sense that they split it all out.
This is a stat I thought was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
In the Paris Olympics, the men's and women's tournaments will each have a total of 12 teams competing. Each country can have a maximum of 12 players on its roster.
Yep.
That means in the entire world, 288 athletes are competing in basketball in Paris. 288 in the world.
Yep.
That's really cool, isn't it?
I
mean that's men's and women's. So if it's just talking about the men's, let's say, 144 people in the world will be competing in the Olympics.
Mm.
Imagine you're one of those guys. That's going to be pretty cool. You're like, I'm down to the last 100th in the world here.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
not 100th, 100.
Yeah, it's that's why, you know, I want to say it's more of an honour in a way, because you think of all the teams across all the countries, and you're the top 15 who's going to be playing for your country. So, yeah, very, very, very cool. Here's something I found interesting. They list the referees.
What? They're already scheduled?
They list the referees and what countries they're from, which I thought was fascinating, because you've got
they're representing their country.
Well, so I thought it was quite interesting. You go, these are all the refs and these are where they all come from. See any flags that are missing?
Yeah, we ain't got any on there.
No, we haven't got any on it, but
Actually, I bet it's people who have qualified.
yeah. So you get, that's part of it. It looks like you get sort of like, if you've got skin in the game, you're at the table.
Mm-hmm.
But some teams only have 1 or 2 sort of refs from their respective places. And then you've got sort of a ref here from Norway, for example, and you go, that's not part of it.
He's going to be a bloody good ref.
She.
That's what I meant.
But I just thought that was really interesting that they go, these are the 30 refs that get selected for the tournament. So just from a refereeing perspective, you go, do you want to ref the Olympics? You go, well, that's different, isn't it?
Again, it's got to be up.
That's a totally different thing, isn't it?
It should. I don't know.
It's
difficult. It should be one of the greatest achievements of your sporting career.
Because they're representing their country, aren't they? That's how I look at it. If you're a referee for a sport, you are representing your country in a sense. So that's why I kind of liked it, because I thought, you know, you're seeing all these people representing their countries, but they're there as in an official capacity.
I wonder if you're allowed to ref your own country.
That was one of my things. I was like, I wonder how this works, because what happens if they go...
Nah, I reckon it'd be cool. Like, if you're a referee, you're supposed to have so much integrity that doesn't even come into question. But
Yep.
When we do our 1972 episode, Mark, we'll see that there's a bit of controversy with that, with some of the refereeing there.
There might be. And all 3 refs from the States, for example, are ladies.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. Amy Bonner, Blanca Burns, and Jenna Renault. They're all from the States.
Oh, nice.
But the States is one of the countries that's actually got 3 refs, along with Spain, which I thought was quite interesting. So I liked that, because you go, I've never actually ever thought about the Olympics and who's reffing. Because normally, if you said 100-meter sprint, for example, well, who crosses the line first? You don't have to be from any nation to go, we've got a camera on that. But for games like hockey, any of those sort of things, all of the people there, they're probably from different countries, from the Olympic committees.
I suppose if you do
I've
really
never thought that.
Really well, like you do a good job, you know, that's a potential career opening up, isn't it?
Yeah, very cool.
I know it's...
So they're starting this week anyway. That's the main thing. They're starting, I think the opening ceremonies and everything kicking off, and then off they go this week. And
I think it's Friday.
But the basketball's very early in the tournament, because if you look at it, it's like August,
it's like the next day.
August the 10th.
The opening ceremony is Friday, and then it's Saturday.
That's what I mean. But August the 10th, it's over. That's the basketball.
You know what? It was really funny. I can't remember which Olympics this was, but I was going to a wedding, and I was getting ready, and I left just as all the teams came out. Yeah.
All right.
I think it was a wedding. It was some event. I was dressed up smart, and it was like first team Albania, and you get all getting clapped like this. I left, went out. When I came back, they were still like Yugoslavia. They're still going like 3 hours later.
Yeah.
I don't know which Olympics it was, but that was well funny. It's like, wow, imagine watching all of that.
I mean, if you're there and doing it, it must be cool. But I've watched a few of those opening ceremonies. They're good fun, but they do go on for a bit.
The country's coming to go on for a while. Right. Some of our listeners have said this is their favourite part of the show when this happens. Snowflake warning. It's a snowflake warning. If you get upset with stuff, please turn off now for about 20 seconds. Right. So what I didn't know, I got no fact to back this up, but apparently at the Olympics, everyone's getting it on.
What?
Apparently, it's like you've got sportsmen in the peak of their physical being.
Yeah.
And they're all like that. And so everyone's like fit and attractive and
it makes sense.
Enjoying life.
It makes sense. I guess that's the Olympic Village vibe, I guess.
And this story came out where some guy turned around and said, I don't think it was the last Olympics. It was maybe a few before that, where he was like, snowflake warning.
Oh, no.
But he was like, there's a condom machine, and I was having to refill it 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's probably like they're having more water fights. That's probably what it is. It's probably really something really unexciting.
I think there's some Olympians who've gone there, and in their story they're talking about that. Have I just completely lowered the tone of your podcast, Mark?
Yeah, I always thought that was my gift to the world, but congratulations. Oh, what do you think of the logos, by the way, that they did for the basketball? So that's for the 3-on-3. They used the correct ball. And that's for the basketball.
Yeah, the birds.
I mean,
it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's just a bit odd. It's just a bit odd.
Look,
like the ball, though. Balls look cool.
Well, it's the molten ball, isn't it? Did I just say in it?
You did.
Wow, I apologise. So just to clarify this, each team in the group plays the other 3 teams, They earn 2 points for a win, 1 point for a loss, 0 points for a loss by forfeit. And that's really important, Mark. If you forfeit, you get 0 points.
Really?
Someone has forfeited before.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't remember
Why?
the year, but
Why would you do
Spain forfeited to America once, like in the 80s or something like that. So that's why it's in there. And at the end of the group phase, the top 2 teams go through, like I said. The 2 best third place teams move on to the quarterfinals. All other teams are eliminated. In event of a tie, right, this is the key thing. In event of a tie between 2 teams in the same group, the head-to-head results will be used as a tiebreaker. So that's really key.
Yeah.
In the event of a tie between 3 or more teams, there is a list of criteria that will be used to break the tie, starting with highest points differential in games between the tied teams. So, yeah.
All right. I mean, it's an interesting system, that's for sure. It's not. It kind of follows a regular, what's it, like a World Cup kind of. There's the round robin, so to speak. But be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah.
If anyone sneaks in, I mean, obviously we're talking about the Olympics. We've got to talk about the last couple of games that have been played in London. And
look, you thought I was being harsh.
What?
And I don't mean to say this, but America, it's not going to be a walkthrough for them.
look at you, searching for your notes eagerly.
It's not going to be a walkthrough for them.
Excited you are, frothing that you get to say a little word.
It's not going to be a walkthrough for him. So I wrote the.
Do you know how much they won against Germany? So they USA have played 2 games. They played against South Sudan, then they played against Germany on Monday. They beat both teams. But against Germany, it was 92-88.
Current world champions, Mark, taking
Yes.
on America.
World champions.
And don't forget, most times the Americans play, it's going to be a home match for them, isn't it?
A lot of them, yeah. So it was really nice seeing that. And you go, okay, you won by 4. Well done. When they played South Sudan at the weekend, they won by 1 point.
Yeah. And the challenge is you got 12 of the best NBA players in this US team. They are expected to dominate.
Yeah. And I mean, I said
and
to
that
you,
means burying opponents, especially in recent games.
well,
But they're like just crossing the line.
South Sudan as a country was formed in 2011. LeBron entered the league in 2003. KD entered the league 2007. Steph entered in 2009. Those 3 guys have been playing in the NBA longer than South Sudan has been a country. And, you know, they don't have indoor basketball courts, those type of facilities, none of that sort of thing. And, you know, you've got to give credit to Luau Deng because obviously Luau is well known as being a UK basketball player, but he had to play for UK because he didn't have any option in Sudan. And obviously we're grateful for that because we get to see the GB flag up there. But what he's done for basketball in South Sudan's got
Massive.
massive. And he's doing projects. I think they're trying to build arenas, or they are building arenas, and massive credit to them. But they did not make it look easy for the USA winning. And arguably that game itself has got like missed calls. No one was getting called for fouls or anything at the end. I don't know.
I've got 2 views on this. So one view, and like I said to you, I don't think it's going to be easy for the Americans to just walk in and go, yeah, we've won this. They have won, what, 3 in a row, 4 in a row, something like that?
Yeah.
Actually, I can tell you exactly. They have won. Oh.
I thought it was 4 in a row.
They have won the last 4 in a row. So they've not lost the Olympics since 2008.
Yeah.
So let me go back to my original stat I was trying to make. So, but you're talking about some players that have played on those teams, and they're at the twilight of their career.
Oh, they're hanging on.
And you're going up against other NBA players who might not be at the twilight of their career.
We've got to, I want to say, bookend that by, you know, any person who listens to this podcast, the guys we're talking about are better than everyone. Every one of us by a lot. Like LeBron will hang his hood up. Same with Steph. Same with KD. Any of those players, they're still better than us, and they will always they're phenomenal basketball
When you
players.
say us, who are you talking?
Any person who's listening to this podcast, pretty much, unless some random person around the world is listening to this and they are elite. Those guys are elite players. There's no question. But what you're saying, and is right, they're all mid to late 30s. They're all not at the peak of their athletic fitness. And I know LeBron is in great shape. We're not questioning that. But it's great shape for a 39-year-old who's played a lot of basketball for like 25 years. So that's the shape he's in. But
also, even in their group, they're going up against Serbia.
Yep.
They're going up against Latvia.
Yep.
They're two tough Eastern European teams they got to get results for. I could be wrong.
And a different style of basketball than they'll be playing as well.
Germany, France, Brazil.
Yeah.
And in Group A, Australia. All right, they're probably in that second tier, but still, you never know what the Australians might do.
No.
Again, in that Group A, probably Canada.
Yeah, Canada's got some great players. Obviously.
Greece, Spain.
Yep.
If you had to call one of those groups the group of death, which would you call it? So Group A, Australia, Canada, Greece, Spain. Group B, France, Germany, Japan, Brazil. Group C, Serbia, South Sudan, United States and Latvia.
I don't know. If I didn't...
That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, if I wouldn't want to be Australia in their group because they've got a really horrible pull there. I mean, they got Canada, Greece, and Spain. If you're Australia, you're toast.
I agree. I think Group A is a group of death.
That is.
But Group C, the group America's in, it's not that far away.
I think Group B is, I'm not saying the easiest, but I think it's the most varied. So the way France play, the way Germany play. I don't know much about how Japan play, but Brazil, they were very good in the Copa Americas, etc. So you can anticipate what they're going to be bringing to it. In a sense, there's a little bit varied here. These guys are just going to come out and hammer you. Like America underestimated South Sudan massively.
Yeah, it was what? It's 1 point, was it, or 2 points?
1 point.
And they missed a shot at the end. Sudan missed a shot at the end.
They were fouled as well. I didn't get called. But,
yeah.
But we're, semantics.
But yeah, let's see what happens. I think this might be an interesting one for America because of their aging team. However, they have got players like Anthony Edwards on, who, let's see what will happen. And they're having all these close results. The only thing I was going to add, in fairness to them, there's lots of talk saying they should be killing these teams by 50, 60, like the Dream Team did. And the only thing I feel for them a little bit, and this is why I got this stat up. So when the Dream Team played in the Olympics, Croatia had 2 NBA players. Lithuania 1, Germany 1, Australia 1. 5 NBA players they went up against. In this year's competition, Canada, 10 NBA players. Australia, 9. France, 9. Serbia, 9. Germany, 5. Spain, 6. South Sudan, 5. Greece, 5. Brazil, 4. Japan, 2. Puerto Rico, 2.
Are you looking at the Copas Americas before qualifying? But honestly, I don't think... I think they've got a harder run.
So that's international competition I'm talking about, not the Olympics. International competition.
Yeah. Oh, there is no way that they are, as prepared as they could be. They play with, there's more European, I'm trying to think of the words to say here. There's more European players in the NBA than there are for now. And international players, actually, I should say, not just European. But because of that, as we know, in FIBA, there's definitely a style of play that is different from an NBA style. And someone like Anthony Edwards hasn't had that exposure yet. So it'd be very interesting to see how someone like him can adapt to like an international style of basketball, because he's seen some players, and he admires people like Jokic, and I'll be interested to see how he goes at some of these players. And when was he utilised enough in the Sudan game? Were anyone? I don't know. I think they're giving first glimpses to people, and they're saying, look, all of these players have come to play. They're all fighting for the South Sudan. If anyone is going to want to do anything in the NBA, in the Olympics, sorry, they're going to want to prove a point. And you've got all the pressure, which these guys are used to from the NBA on the USA team. Everyone else has got we just want to give them a good game.
And I think there's some, I reckon there's some teams, they're all going to be gunning for the Americans.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're all going to be gunning for them.
That's their sole thing. I just want to top.
Freaking fan.
I just want to top them.
Firing at me. My paper's going everywhere, Mark.
Wow.
You literally got it pointing at me.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be like, it's too hot.
So, a really interesting one. I took this picture for you. So about Greece. Where is it? I'm going to butcher this name, but Ergin Ataman, head coach of EuroLeague champions Panathinaikos, has called out the Celtics and said that they are not the world champions. And he said, you are not the world champions. If you want to get the world championship title, come and beat us. That's a Greek team.
Yeah.
So that's
interesting.
A little bit of that animosity going into the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
There are going to be players going, I'm going to make a point here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's end it on a positive note. Something that I thought was really, really cool is LeBron James is one of the flag bearers for the USA opening ceremony.
Yeah, that's very nice.
So's Dennis Schroeder for Germany.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool to see basketball players. And, historically, there's lots of other sportsmen, women who've done it.
Jordan never did it.
No. So he's got another little tick off for him with Jordan. But it's nice looking at that. And then it gives another argument again to people all around the world where they're fighting for resources and fighting for the chance to play it. The Olympics is a celebration of sport, and you go, if this sport is underfunded or whatever, why is it that you've got people as flag bearers? So I think that's it. I thought it was really, really cool.
That's very cool.
Very good.
I'm gonna just slam your point now a little bit.
Oh no!
Because I know you said the Olympics is for sporting athletes to
and break dancers apparently.
I'm going to say the Olympic torch is now crossed into France.
Yep.
And it's since May been starting his journey around the country, being hoisted by different sporting personalities and other personalities. And that we can all rest easy because American rapper Snoop Dogg has been named as one of the final torch bearers for the Olympic flame. So we can all relax. You think I'm joking? Look at that.
Oh, that's good. I love that.
So he's got some significant sporting achievements and, coming to lift the torch up.
Listen.
Hey, I wonder if Simon Coteau, Portsmouth godfather, is going to
that's exactly what I was
do it
thinking.
in France. He'd be two-time torchbearer for the Olympics.
I was literally just thinking.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
No, wouldn't it be funny?
You would have it on your wall and cross the torch.
He could just get the torch, his other torch, get it, and be like, just run out. Just literally just nip out and go, run out. Everyone would be clapping. He'd be like, yeah, this is great. Thanks very much. And then just nip back into the crowd again. Everyone's like, that wasn't the real runner, was it? And then the real runner comes past. He's like,
Snoop Dogg comes past.
Oh yeah. Not going to
holding the torch up and
don't take it away from Snoop. God blimey. Like that.
One point I will highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Last 3 weeks, I've noticed the Americans been using the molten ball.
Have they?
Yeah. Like I want to say last 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe. Do you
know what? I hadn't considered that, but that's a whole thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I took a picture to remind Where is it?
I like this. I take a picture to remind myself of something.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I'm sure a lot of people do. But
I got it in a training session with Curry and LeBron in the same picture. I don't know where it is, but look, they're using the molten ball.
yeah, that's really good.
And they're using the one that's like the game ball from the BBL.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're getting used to the balls.
it's a thing, I guess, isn't it? Getting your hands on some balls and playing with them. It's like, how are you? What everything you're used to in the game, the flaws, everything is different. It was the only thing about they were showing some highlights of this is Team USA practicing, and they were practicing in some facilities. And I just looked at it and I just thought, oh, it's badminton nines. There's like, they're just playing.
Do I have to do it again?
No, I'm just saying.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
It's just, they're
No!
doing it and you're like,
No!
surely there's a better court that they could use than that. I'm sure there's I'm sure the facilities are great. I'm not banging the facilities, but you just look at it and go, these guys are used to such great practice facilities, as is all of the teams, that it's just a shame that, you know, we didn't have that sort of facility available to them, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh no, so here you go. I've kind of got it. There you go. So Team USA. So since oh man, what's the date on this? So since the beginning of July, they've been using the molten balls.
Okay.
So there was a select team of college players.
Oh, that was a great game.
So
That was a great game. Did you see that one?
yeah, I would say that's the introduction of Cooper Flag.
Yep.
To the world there. I mean, I think some of the highlights I saw of him, it was like Team USA survived a Cooper Flag-led comeback, and that was in a scrimmage.
What I thought was funny about him is he's 18, 17, 18, 19, he's around that age, isn't he? He's not old. But I thought what was funny about him is he's, I want to say like a quite stone-faced, but he just took everything in his stride. It's like, dude, look at who you're playing against. And it just didn't faze him, which I thought was unbelievable, quite frankly. Because that is, you know, lots of those players would be, you know, Jordan would be our, like I'd say, our GOAT in our generation. LeBron is a GOAT to a lot of people in that generation. And he's there playing against him and keeping people at bay, and that's the mindset of that is incredible, I think.
He's
Absolutely
currently
incredible.
at Duke.
Yeah.
And if he plays out his 4 years, he's a top prospect. He's going to have a potential big payday.
Yeah.
With the salaries going up by 10% every year. He could come into the league and average 80 million per year if he declares for the 2028 draft.
Okay. I guess that's the important thing. Then he's like, I'm not going to the NBA until I've finished my education, which is totally. I think that's great. Personally,
there's lots of talk of him. I can't remember what they say. Jack O'Keefe's used the word, is it one and gun or one?
Yeah, you do 1 year and then you get, that 1 year allows you to get in, doesn't it?
There's lots of talk about that now.
I think that's a real shame, because all that's doing is bringing the ages down, and you're getting all these guys who are like, oh, they've been in the league 6 years already, and it's like they're 24. What? Why are they? How are they?
Yeah.
It's, you know, and then so by the time they're 30, they're done. Their legs are done. Everything's done. They got the body of like a 50-year-old.
Another thing I wrote down: Steph Curry.
Yes.
He's got an advantage in this Olympics. NBA 3-point line, 23.9 foot.
Yeah.
Olympic 3-point line, 22.1 foot.
Yeah, it's the different. It's a different
feet.
Yeah, it's a different standard. It's the
Also, look, what ball is he shooting with?
molten ball. Yeah.
With the molten ball, and this is on the, I believe it was on the 10th. Damn it, I haven't got the date. I think this was on the 10th of January. Sorry, 10th of July. With that molten ball at training, 105 straight 3-pointers scored.
I can't even score 5, and that would be like, give me half an hour. 105 in a row. At what point do you do that and you go, this is getting, I'm practiced this enough, like it's not getting any harder.
Oh, and I found the quote. You know, I talked about the Anthony Edwards quote. I found it now. Anthony Edwards on how he will fit in the USA basketball team. The quote is, "I'm still the number one option. Y'all might look at it differently. They got to fit in around me. That's how I feel."
Yeah.
And there you go. There's a quote.
But I will say, you know, I want to say it sounds arrogant. He's very confident of himself. But then when you hear him in the post game, they said, "How did you do that?" And he said, "LeBron James." "How did you get that win?" He said, "LeBron James. He led us." And I like that because he's a team player and he leans into that as well. He's confident enough in himself that he's like, I can play in the role you need me to, but I'm a winner.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So it's going to be a good Olympics. And, you know, are we going to see this kind of caliber of player in the Olympics 4 years from now? Because a lot of this roster, none of them are going to be in it.
Yeah, this is their last Olympics, probably, isn't it? A lot of them.
100%.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
There you go, Mark.
Very,
It's going to
very
be
good.
called the Olympics episode.
This is the Olympics episode, yeah, pretty much.
So we got Olympics weekly for 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh, I guess it's going to be Olympics
Olympics.
knockout week episode, and then
Quarterfinals, and then the
Quarterfinals.
finals on the 10th. So it's only like literally 2 weeks. And we will obviously bring out some really completely irrelevant facts about other sporting achievements during the time of the Olympics.
what is your favourite Olympics moment, Mark?
I like watching the ones in the when they do like the not weird sports, but the sports that are not as common. Like you suddenly turn on the Olympics and they go, on this channel we're doing trap shooting. And you're like, oh yeah, let's have a go at that. Let's just watch that. And you see some guys there. And
That's your favourite Olympic moment, you turning the TV on and seeing a random sport?
No, my favourite one is
Are you going to say the 1972 Olympics?
No.
Did Russia win?
no. One of my favourites was I've forgotten his name now.
Dave.
It was the British Olympian.
Daley Thompson.
No. And he had
Linford Christie.
he got a hamstring injury.
Oh, yeah.
On the last
Yeah,
turn,
yeah.
and his dad ran out, and the security were trying to bop him off, and he's like, "He's my son," and made him finish. And everyone in that crowd was like behind that
Yeah.
guy, like.
And his son's like breaking down.
Yeah, and he was a prospect to get something. He was absolutely, and his hammy just went gone.
Yeah, you can see it's like 4 years of training. Bam.
Just out. So that was one, which ironically, it's a sad highlight.
No, I agree. That's mine.
I loved
mine.
it. It was so good.
You can't not have an emotional response to that.
I think the other ones, if you say British, the other one you got Sally Gunnell winning her medals was fantastic. I would say some of the swimming and the cycling, arguably the cycling races, I think from 2012, just watching those was like, you're just on the edge of the seat, like how have we just keep winning and they just keep powering through. They were brilliant. Non-UK, Michael Johnson as a 200 sprint, but I think probably
Dominated.
number one, probably Usain Bolt. That one where he's got his shoelace was undone and he won the event, and he was like powering down with like 10 meters to go, and
He's smiling, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, and he's just like cruising towards the end, and you go,
broke the Olympic world
that
record.
guy
as well.
was just a
I think
freak of nature.
9.58.
It's
9.58 he did? Or 9.69? No, 5.8.
No one had seen anything like that. Like just the way, not just how fast he went,
He
but
didn't
the
slow
way.
down the next time.
Oh no, he
Because
didn't.
everyone was like, oh my God, what would that time be?
Yeah, and he had like but the famous bit is that when they took the photo, it's like his shoelace is hanging out. It's like he didn't even tie his shoes up. It's just absolutely love it. But Olympics is really, really cool. So if you're not listening to it, get stuck in. It's going to be on for like 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
First 2 weeks.
And it's you got the men's events, the women's events, and the 3-on-3 men's and women's events as well.
Talked about 3-on-3.
No, do you know what? Because it's so new, I haven't really seen a lot. A lot
You need
about
to
it.
do some research for our listeners.
I do. But the 3-on-3 is the 5th. That's when the final is. So the 3-on-3 tournament, I think, is actually a lot quicker. And there's only like 6 or 7 teams in it.
Yeah. I don't know. But we'll look into it. Right. We done?
I think we're done. I think the only thing we've got to do is just, there has been a change within the UK basketball.
Are we doing another show? BBL weekly?
We will do one at, there's not enough information out there to do a full BBL weekly. So I just thought we'd just tag it on the end. Basically, the developments in the UK now are that they've finally lost the license for the old league, and that's gone. So now there's a new company, and they've been issued a new license, and it's called the Premier Basketball League.
Oh.
Now, are they going to be calling it the PBL? I don't know. But they wanted to get away from BBL for, as you found out, the old butt lifts. But
Premier Basketball
League, are they going to call it that?
I said that to you months ago. That's what it'll...
So they're lining that up. Now, at the moment, there's only 7 teams who are signed in for that.
I also like National Basketball League, NBL. And you've got, same as Australia, NBL, that's the national, and then NBL 1, NBL 2, NBL 3. That's not a bad way to do it either.
I think that is, the problem is, twofold. One, we've got an NBL already at the moment who have Div 1 and stuff, so they'd have to push them all down.
No, that's why you call it National Basketball League.
Yeah.
So it is the National Basketball League, and then you have Div 1, Div 2, Div 3.
Or could you have it just NBL, and this is the Premiership of the NBL? So then you don't have to change the
Premier
leagues.
Basketball League. Then.
Exactly. But also,
that's the Australian model.
So, here's the thing. The NBL now is getting more and more attributed. People know it's the Australian League because they're getting some good talent, because they've had players going over there. The Australian League has really sort of raised itself up the last few years. So I think NBL, I want to say not dangerous, but it's so attributed with the Australian League now. The say is you've got the ENBL, which is the new one in Europe, etc. So,
there's sounds like some investment coming.
Yeah,
some exciting news.
There's some investment in Cheshire.
Riders, they've just signed Jalen Hunter.
Yep.
American guard.
Sheffield Sharks have got a new owner, and they've got new investment. There's lots of money coming into league, so it's
let's see.
It's interesting.
Are you saying BBL Weekly's coming back? Oh, hang on. Welcome to your BBL. Welcome to your PBL Weekly.
This is it. But we don't see. Here's the funny thing, and it's why I say funny, but here's the reality at the moment. The fans don't know a lot, and that's maybe the downside.
That's why they listen to us, Mark.
Well, it is, and I wish we had more info. But the problem is, there's lots of.
They've all been made redundant.
We want to. Well, yeah, that was one big thing that came out of it. That everyone basically from the old league was made redundant, no pay. Nothing.
We'll do a show on it.
The day before pay. We will do a show on it.
But we don't know much.
And the people that are out there who are saying various things can't share information or sources. So like we learned from a very recent thing, unless you know, if my mother tells me I love her, it's like, show me the evidence.
Yeah. And
we don't want to put stuff out there because it's not fair if those things aren't necessarily true.
But from our understanding, from what we know, I mean, we've always said we're not a huge fan on a statement going out and then all the clubs put in the same statement. Yeah. You think, all right, like it kind of loses.
And then showing highlights.
The way.
And all the teams have done, and you know, the league's done certain things, but all the teams as well, I'm sure they might be bound by what they can and can't do. But the reality is, all the teams have a fan base. And I think every team that is in this new league has a debt to their fans, because they are asking for things like season. They've been asking for season tickets for months.
Yeah,
they've been asking for all those other things, and people are like, "Is there a club? Is there a season? What's going on?"
There is going to be a season.
Tell people. Of course, there's going to be a season.
Well,
but there's only 7 teams. Manchester are not in it. Plymouth are not in it.
Have they announced? Is
that London Lions
official?
As it stands right now, that is the case. There's only 7 teams that are within that league.
So what are those teams? You said Manchester, London.
Manchester, Plymouth and London are not in. And the reason for that is because Manchester, Plymouth and London were all owned by the previous league. Well, so at the moment, Manchester and Plymouth historically had issues with ownership. So they were then owned by the league because they didn't have owners. London Lions were owned by the previous owners. So all 3 of those teams are all basically interlinked in a way. So they at the moment have no
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
so
yeah.
at the moment, it's like, what's going to happen?
My understanding, and this is just my understanding from random conversations, is the league has got its league now.
Yeah.
You have teams entering the league, and the season's going to go ahead in September, and it's going to be similar to what it was in last year. You only need to look at the model. You only need to look at the model for what the league did.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just going to create a new entity
Yeah.
and call it this. Oh, yeah, you can come in. Why couldn't someone else do that? So, as an example, one of those three teams, they could say, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're now going to be called the London." What's another animal begin with L?
Llama.
The London Llamas. Where did that come from? But can you see what I mean? They could break away. I mean, the classic one is in Plymouth. You've got the Mayon. Is it Mayon? Plymouth Mayon Patriots.
That's right. Yeah.
Or the
Mayon Patriots and the Raiders.
Sorry, the Raiders. That's it. So I think listening to people, that is what might happen. But yeah.
It's just a shame that people haven't been.
I think you got an exciting league coming, and the reason I say it is because you're not going to have the London Lions in whatever entity that is, with huge salaries for players and kind of dominating the league with, what was it, 3 losses in the end? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 4?
Yeah.
That says to me, you're going to have about 4 to 6 teams, maybe even 4 to 8 teams who are really going to be affecting that top part of the table. And you've probably got 4 teams who can genuinely win it.
Yeah, you have. But here's the
going to be exciting.
You say that, but here's the big caveat. You're basing that on all the players who are in the league playing on those same teams in that same league. At the moment, there is very, very few players who are actually committed and confirmed for playing next year.
But that's British basketball.
Oh, I know. But
and it's not all of them. It's those guys are on a year contract.
Well, look, Matt Morgan's going to play in Italy now, which is congratulations for that. That was awesome. And he was playing for the Summer League in Charlotte Hornets. And he was monster.
Who's the other guy?
Sam Decker.
Yeah, he's gone. He's in Philadelphia at the moment.
Yeah,
I know he's out there for a bit.
Yeah, he's back in Wisconsin, but he's out there doing stuff. And like Gabe Olaseni and all of those, I think they're going to Besiktas. I think they are.
I think the league is going to be super competitive. They're not going to go into that league with those salaries that they had.
Well, they won't have the copper box either.
Why not?
Well, who's going to fund the copper box? The copper box isn't owned by the London Lions.
It's not just going to stop existing, though, is it?
No, it's not. But can you imagine how much it costs to rent that place compared to any other normal sports hall?
It's in London as well.
Well, it's in the Olympic Village. This is why I won't say a tenuous link, but that is from the 2012 Olympic. So the copper box was built originally as the netball, softball, basketball. That was what it was for. That was the arena for the 2012 Olympics in the Queen Elizababeth.
Oh, I got an idea. I got a great idea. So we got the Olympic episodes coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We got the 1972. The
1972.
shocking events of 1972 basketball finals.
Mm-hmm.
We got that episode coming up.
Not to be confused with Miracle on Ice, by the way.
Then maybe we should do our last episode.
Our last episode.
Our last episode for season 1.
Wow. The last.
And finish it there. Because I know you got...
Just finish it on like a...
Oh, look.
We do something moody. Make a moody noise.
Oh.
Make it a little bit like, ooh.
Mark's been doing a lot of work.
Mystical.
A lot of work. The studio is about to get a makeover. The studio is about to get a huge makeover.
We're doing pink walls, rainbows,
no,
glitter, confetti.
No.
I'm going to let my daughter.
No.
She can decorate it.
I know you were talking about a newsroom potentially going...
Did you say a newsroom?
That was your idea. You said turning it into like a newsroom for going into YouTube.
Yep. It sounded like you said a nude room. I was thinking...
Or that.
No, that's not happening. Oh, yeah, I've got to bang a little sauna in the corner.
That's a great idea. Podcast in the sauna.
I don't want to be talking to you, sweating my giblets off.
You can wear swimmers.
Well, but that's a given, yeah. But I don't want to be sitting there like, I don't like saunas at all. Steam room, how are you talking?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I like the dampness.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we could do that, do the last episode, and then season 2 kicks off with the BBL episode. You got an email?
Yeah, it was from Santa. He said you're off the list.
Go on, Mark. Play the new intro for season 2.
Oh, I can plug it.
Should we finish it? Should we finish this episode, or do you want to leave it?
Finish it? Well, no, we can.
Mark's been guitaring away in the studio.
I've been strumming away in my studio.
Is this, or do you want to save it? Season 2.
It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, round it up. So this is the new intro you've been working on.
The new intro. Why not?
So,
and now Paul's got
Olympics.
to figure out how he's going to speak over the top of this, or scream rather.
yeah, now stand and cheer for your season 2. Something like that.
That works, doesn't it? That works. Wow. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't gone back and checked out our other episodes, we've got 134, 135, so I don't know.
Half a mil coming up.
We're coming up to 500,000 streams, and it's very exciting. As Paul said, we've got season 2 coming up, so stay tuned. I have been Mark.
I have been Paul. Hello. Don't watch badminton at the Olympics. They might get the message.